Don't judge a book by its cover. A common misconception that's literally shoved in public schools and everybody's throats. Meaning that don't judge Frozen by its cover. Don't think it's corny. Look at the storyline. I'm used to watching anime. And better yet, if you think I just watch anime, I'm used to watching shit with an actual plotline. I'd rather watch Ugly Betty than that shit. Ugly Betty was my shit. You can't literally expect a moral to get in the way of how our society is built and how humans interact. Our humans don't interact by don't judge a book by its cover. That may be the front, but literally what they mean is don't judge a book by its cover is don't have standards. Don't judge Seymour. He knows more about the gang life than you do because he's from the area. He knows to stay out the way. So that takes away from the fact that he's scrawny, and that takes away from the fact that I beat him off screen every single time, even though he had an incredible front. That takes away from the fact that don't judge a book by its cover. Justin is really mature for the situation because he can handle himself in situations. He can roast. He's multi-dimensional. He's the one with the girlfriend. I'm like, okay, so that's disregarding the fact that he ran away from me when he had a baseball bat when I'm Price's Source. And I have broken the don't judge book by its cover over and over and over again by literally fooling a girl based off looks alone. Don't judge a book by its cover, he's an asshole. Oh well. And don't judge a book by its cover, it really just means that they want you to go all out in something when you can also just read the back of the book. The back of the book tells you the plot, and you can see if the plot is worth your time. And the reason why you don't want to follow that is because the people who say that are the people who literally want to catch you by the element by surprise. They orchestrate a scheme in order for you to realize that shit. Alright? Because I've been with women with personalities, and I realized it's not their personality, it's their default. I didn't grow up in regular ed, so I didn't get to know that everybody has that swag. Everybody has been using that ever since 3rd grade. Little kids have been saying fuck and shit ever since they're in kindergarten. They try to pull this little shit, don't judge a book by its cover, that little kid's gang member and shit. I'm like, that little kid still is unexperienced in life. He may be introduced to stuff, but he's not used to seeing how multiple situations plan out. The reason why you don't want to judge a book by its cover first thing is because you want to evaluate the situation, but you don't want to take it literally because that's a folktale. You want to be able to have some insight of the situation, but you don't need to go all out to a point where you need to read the book twice. Don't judge a book by its cover. Oh, Rashad, he caught Mr. Pledger off guard. He's still a hoodlum. His personal life and how he can have connections to get him out of trouble has nothing to do with Mr. Pledger. He's still a hoodlum. What you see is what you get. There's a hint in the cover art to let you know what the book is about. Don't judge a book by its cover. Matt, the one that faced Allie in the versus battle, literally told you to stop putting yourself in a bad position when he's the one who put you in that position. You think they're immature just because they're making jokes when they're telling you to understand the situation? Don't judge a book by its cover. I literally, if I told my friends that I was gay, they would still accept me. And he's like, stop, Eris, you're putting yourself in a bad position. When I'm saying the realest shit ever, is like, don't judge a book by its cover. When you see something like that, that means you're gay. That means you're literally living up to what you're saying. Like, no, I'm being admirable. That's what you call a real friend versus a fake friend. Because you know why? I wouldn't be a fake fag that's literally being a flame. I'll be an actual, real gay person. Because I've met people like that don't shove people down people's throat. I have worked with co-workers that don't shove it down. I've worked with co-workers who do. I know what's different. I know where a flame is. You could definitely judge a flame by its cover. You don't think you can judge a girl, a skinny black girl with big tits that always exposes her cleavage by its cover? You can't automatically come to the conclusion that she's a slut, even though she's a virgin trying to fit in. That's connected to her being a slut. Oh, that's done it. She's never been penetrated. She's never been this and that. But she's advertising herself like a hoe. It's within the same archetype. That means if she went side to side with a model, she can get the same job, even though she's never had sex. And if you actually have sex, you can understand that clearly that even her pussy can be bad. They pulled the same thing with me and Livingstone in the Arrow. Don't judge a book by its cover. You know, you may have been able to beat him in an anime rap battle, but you're not able to be in our roast battle. When I was roasting Sabo that entire time, he's like, you know what people are hiding because people are mature, and that's what Mr. Pleasure was trying to tell me. He's like, oh, keep your personal life secret so they will know the right buttons to press. When literally, my personal life is everything, and I don't actually have a personal life. I can judge the book by its cover because he was never able to roast like that again. Don't judge a book by its cover means that you have to believe in the fairy tale, that you have to believe that it's a journey instead of just asking questions. And that's with everything. That's when you want to sign a contract. That's with any single thing in life. You want to have some insight before you go into something so you don't end up being caught off guard. Like when you're hanging around somebody with baggy jeans but he's acting like a really nice person, don't knock his cover. His cover is there for a reason. That baggy jeans is connected to criminal activity. No matter how nice of a person he is, that's still someone who's connected to criminal activity because everybody knows that gets you targeted. Don't judge a book by its cover. It's the same way that they say you fit the description when you don't. If you can't judge a book by its cover, they shouldn't even be able to fuck with you. These people tried to pull me while I've actually experienced these people, and then they do something that catch me off guard. That's literally like Stephanie saying cool. Stephanie said, oh, I have this new way of talking. It's C-O-O, cool. And literally, what happened is, oh, so Stephanie's getting some gangster swag. No, she's still an animator. She's still wearing the glasses. She's still everything. What you see is what you get. Stop expecting too much out of these people. Stop expecting a hot blonde girl with bright eyes and a banging body to have a killer personality more than a guy. Stop expecting a pretty ass girl to have more of a personality than Arturo. What you see is what you get. The cheerleader that was quirking had a crush on me because I have green eyes and I have nice muscles, but I have no swag. In the real world, when reputation doesn't matter, it's good. What you see is what you get because he's physically attracted to me, and that's it. The don't judge his book by its cover comes into the fact that we all know that he was trying to set me up for a trap, but that comes by default. That's some Lena shit. Stop believing this folktale that literally that you can't judge somebody by the first time you meet them, especially when body language is a thing about being social. The reason why you have this trouble thinking that it's all multi-dimensional when it's not. Like, why didn't I play all those games with cheerleader? Why didn't I literally just wait? It's a very good question, because in a situation where there are other people involved, a book isn't involved. That's why when I went off physical attraction, we ended off on a good note in the real world. You can make a joke out of this. I learned how to pick up by making a joke when girls were in denial that they like me, and literally I just went off physical attraction, but I made a joke off the physical attraction. I'm like, okay, so you do realize you forgot to suck my dick. It doesn't matter how mad she gets, it doesn't matter what words she's saying, it doesn't matter that she's gonna get emotional when you hear a girl with a clever punchline like that. There's no way she is not gonna react in a way that's gonna get her emotionally attached. Don't judge a book by its cover where the book just turned into a movie. My bad. I actually said that shit to Layla one time, but it was literally when I was frustrated and shit. But I'm talking about that is a strategy I've used before on some other girl, but I respect her personally. If she's watching this video, I don't want her to get the wrong idea. But in general, like, you don't do stuff like that because that causes affliction, literally. So the new game that I learned, if you guys want to know, it works for me. I know it's not gonna work for you. Is let them play themselves. If I'm sexy and she's in denial, I'm like, okay, let's see how long this gonna last. And that's it. What you see is what you get.